I'm Debbie Crisanto. A couple of my friends have asked me how I dissect a t-shirt to make t-shirt quilts for customers. And so this is the process that I go through. There might be a simpler way. This is the way I've been doing it for a while, and it's the easiest way for me. The first thing I do is, you want to look down here, is I dissect the t-shirt. I just take my rotary cutter and I just cut my sleeves off. And these are wonderful to use for eyeglass cleaning, for rags out in the shop. And that's pretty much what I do, is I just make a pile of the dissected pieces, and I donate them to either a garage or somebody who could utilize these pieces. So come back down here, and then the next thing that I do, once I got that off, once I got the sleeves off, then I cut up the sides. I cut up both sides, and then I cut across the top. So now I've got two pieces dissected. Then I know I'm going to use, on this t-shirt, I'm going to use the back, because the back's got more printing. However, the front, I'm going to keep the front because it's got the pocket and it's got some writing on that. So I'm going to fold it up, and I probably am going to make something else with this. I don't know what at this point. So I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to stick it over here in a pile, so that they're nice and neat and I don't have to go through the ironing process again. Look over here, and here's all the sleeves, and here's the pile of the leftover bottom portions of the t-shirts. And then here I've already got I think 18 t-shirts already squared up, tricoted. I use Tricot on the back, and then they're squared up to 12.5 inches. So walk over this way, and coming over here, I love this lightweight fusible Tricot. And this one is by Basel, and I buy it by the bolt, and it's in white and black. What I do is, whenever I'm doing a t-shirt quilt that's 12.5-inch squares, I like to cut my Tricot at 14 inches so that I have a little overhang. Because if you cut your t-shirt fabric without your fusible on the back, your interfacing on the back, it is going to roll. It's going to move on you when you're trying to sew it. So you really need to make sure that you have this all the way to the end of your 12.5-inch block. So what I do is, once I cut off my 14 inches, I turn it and cut it crossways at 14 inches. And I'm going to save this piece because I'm going to utilize this, like you saw on the back of that red block over there, that I had 3 pieces on the back. So we're going to pause right here so I can go to the ironing board. Ready? Okay. So going back and getting the red block, you can see I've got 3 pieces on the back. So that 14-inch block on each side, and then I just put like a 2-inch strip down the center. And these are all just leftover pieces, so I'm utilizing all of my Tricot since I paid for it. So the next thing I do, come over here, I have a 12.5-inch block. I press it from the back side to get all the wrinkles out, and then I turn it over to the front side, and I take my 12.5-inch block and I line it up on the front, or squared up on the front of my pattern design that I want to make sure that I cut the most out of. So I then take a Sharpie marker and I just mark each of the 4 corners, so that I can now turn it over and see those markings through the back side, where I need to have the wrong side up to press my Tricot on the back. So you can see I can see the marks, and I'm going to take my Tricot, and I really could probably use the black Tricot on this one, but I've already got the white cut, so I'm going to go ahead and just place this. And you want bumpy side down and the smooth side up, and you want to make sure that you're hanging over your 12.5-inch marks. And remember, I said this is at 14 inches. So making sure I can see my dots here, 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 and here. And you cannot put a hot iron to this. It's going to stick to your iron. So I always use a piece of t-shirt fabric as my pressing cloth, and make sure that it's just laid on there nice and flat and it's not going to move. And then, I think, see if that's baby's hot. It's not hot. So I'm going to put you on hold for a minute and let this thing heat up. Okay, iron's hot. So now we're just going to lightly press this. I'm just holding a light hand on my iron and kind of floating it over the top of this Tricot because I do not want it to move on me. And I do have steam. I know a lot of times these manufacturing instructions tell you not to use steam. I tell you, I use steam on everything. It activates the glue, and I have never had a problem with this brand of Tricot not adhering well to the back of the t-shirt. So once I do that, I'm going to peel this away, and this kind of sticks to here, which tells me I've got a really good press. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my 12.5-inch ruler and the pressed t-shirt back over here to the cutting board, and I'm going to lay it with the right side up with my 12.5-inch ruler. I'm going to measure back up to my 4 dots, and then I'm going to cut all the way. And you can see when I'm cutting, see I have some Tricot, so I know that I'm all the way to the edge of my 12.5-inch block with the Tricot, so I've got a good, I know that it's not going to roll on me. I'm going to get this side. And now I have one more block that's ready to put some borders on and go into a beautiful quilt that's got 20 t-shirts. I hope this helps you. Any questions? Let me know if you like this video, and if you have any questions. Thank you.
Pause.